You all ready for Bible study? Alright, let's get in it. The greatest commandment. Then one of the Pharisees, a scribe, learned in the sacred law, asked Yahshua this question: Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Since he's learned in the sacred law, he knows this answer. But he wants to test Yahshua to see if he's legit. Now, any ascended master, any master in integral psychology itself or self-science, understand what the sacred law is. The sacred law is what connects us, kind of like the Jedi and the Force, space and Star Trek. You know, it's what combines all of us into one race, one planet, one consciousness. Yahshua answered, "The Lord our God is one God. And thou shalt love the Lord with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength." Now, what do you think he's talking about? Do you think he's talking about the God of the Jewish faith, the God of Christian faith, the God of Muslims, the Tao, Buddhism, Hinduism, Zoroastrianism? Like, do you think he's talking about these? Let's go on. This is the first and the greatest commandment. The second is like it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is no commandment greater than these. You want to know why that is? Because you are me, and I am you. I have made the same mistakes you have, and you have made the same mistakes as I have. Moreover, you've done as much right as I have, and I have done as much right as you have. Now, maybe not to each other as we should have, but to others who had less fortunate circumstances, who probably needed it more than I did. To treat your neighbor like yourself is to treat yourself. It's simple. The law of comeback, the law of karma. The bill always comes due. Everything that was done to you from my hand will be done to me. And everything that was done to me by your hand will be done to you. That is why it's the most powerful commandment, to love thy neighbor as thyself. Because ultimately, when you hurt another, betray another, leave another, ignore another. You did it to yourself. I've made these mistakes. And I take full responsibility for them. I hold myself accountable. And I am sincerely sorry for the pain I might have caused to anyone and everyone. But standing in your truth is not karma. Owning your truth, even if it's painful to others, reaps no karma. So I say this: if I hurt you in any way, you can stand in that truth and tell the entire world what I have done to you and how it hurt you, how it affected you moving forward. And I am truly sorry, and I will own it if it's the truth. And I will not lie about any wrong I have done if I am aware of it. But if I am not aware that I hurt, then how can I make amends? I guess this will have to do. Indeed, Master, thou hast spoketh the truth, replied the scribe. For these are worth more than all the burnt offerings and sacrifices. Yahshua, seeing he answered wisely, added, You are not far from the kingdom of God. Isn't that what we all look for? Some people value power, money, stability, safety, security, lust, pleasure, control. Knowledge, food, possessions, tattoos, attention, gratification, loyalty, honor, value. I honor none of these things. I want one thing. What I have come here to do. To make this, to get as close to God's heart as possible. But the only way to the Holy Grail is with two. The only way to God at the level I want to reach Him. Those of you who are unfamiliar with how energy works and how consciousness is like a raging ocean, the vastness as it is, it has been mapped. And what I plan to do is show you that map. But you will see it soon enough. The laws of the universe, they begin with you, and they end with you. Everything has its motion, its ebb and flow. Everything has its opposite, its counterpart. And like a blind man, I could not see. Like a blind man, I developed other senses. In my youth, I made it my mission to develop my senses. I went an entire month without speaking, an entire month without listening, an entire month without smelling. Like I did these things on purpose. I would have went a month without seeing if I didn't trip over everything. But I made up for that with meditating. I kept on training my senses. But because of the hostile environments I grew up in, the relationships that I had were so toxic and karmic, I could never invite anyone over. You know, the wisest man I knew was my dad, but he was surrounded by just I remember we went like 3 months without electricity once. We ate off of a propane grill. I remember in the same house we went 6 months without water. We used to put buckets out to harness the rainwater and wash our bodies and the dishes in that. God put me through struggles to survive. Now I can survive poverty. I can survive jail. I can survive in the woods, the wilderness, the jungle. I can survive in business. I can survive in the streets. I can survive anywhere. Because I have trained myself to only need me. But that won't get me any further to God. That won't get me any closer to God. I'm as far as I can go. And that irritates me. Because I've always been afraid of needing someone else. It's been a fear of mine because of all of the terrible relationships I grew up in. I've tried to be a better person. I've tried to help everyone, be service to everyone, because I was just looking for myself. I'm sure you know what that feels like. Let's figure out what today's energy is. Today's energy is the Queen of Swords. You see how she's holding a head? You see how powerful she is? Queen of Swords is a very righteous person, but not overly righteous. Queen of Swords, integrity, principles, perceptive, severe, aloof, truth. Reverse, critical, pessimist, bitter, grudges, cruel, cold, upright. The Queen of Swords is gifted with a nimble and perceptive mind, and nothing escapes her notice. She is strict but fair, though her detached and aloof air may intimidate others. For her, honesty above all is important. She is always seeking truth, even if it is painful. Her principles make her a powerful champion for her beliefs. She is guarded, but close friends will find a charming conversationalist. Reversed, this queen's intelligence is used as a weapon for bitterness. She may have been severely hurt in her youth and is consumed by revenge, punishment, or hatred. Although her negativity is directed outwards, it is likely because she feels empty within. She may be excessively critical, never satisfied, draining, and toxic. Unwittingly, she causes the same suffering to others that she herself felt. I used to be like that. I ain't even gonna lie. I used to be like that. Because I was angry. Now I look at it as such a blessing. I learned how to survive everywhere, and now I don't have to survive anymore. I can thrive anywhere. Anywhere God takes me. I won't just prosper. I'll be prosperous. I'll nurture the environment and watch it grow. And that's what I've done. And you are capable of that too. This energy, everybody has it. It's just the day energy. Once you learn the whole tarot deck and all the energies that you embody, then you understand that moving through energy is just something everyone does on a regular basis. That everything is energy. And when you start recognizing energy, you speak the language of the universe. And once you speak that language, there is no going back. You can't turn it off. You see everything for what it is. You see all the lies, all the illusions, all the tricks, all the phonies, all the fakes. And then you understand how you've been misled. At least that's what it took for me. I was misled by many, bombarded with toxic relationships, by unhealed people who were just looking for someone to validate them, not knowing that God validates them, that all they had to do was turn to God. Living in a world where hollow shells sit and ask other hollow shells to make them feel better about themselves, not knowing that there's just one call away from not having to be hollow. Now it's time for the angelic realm. Father, guide me. Pedra Pio. Padre Pio will help you heal from any type of wound or dis-ease. Forgive. Feel the pressure of the presence of angels and guides. Have strong relationships. Connect with loved ones, dead or alive. Deepen your spiritual connection. Make wise decisions and develop your discernment. Invocation. Padre Pio was a man of great faith. So when you wish to gain his assistance, place a rose at the base of a simple cross and expect great miracles to occur in your life. Any request made with an open heart and the willingness to embrace forgiveness is sure to be graciously answered. He excels at helping you see the true nature of your challenges. He is a miracle worker, so call upon him often. I will do. Now it's time for the demonic realm. Father, guide me. Urban Grandier, 1634, priest framed and executed in London. Possessions of the Ursuline nuns in France. The Urban Grandier was brought down by his own arrogant charm and success, Reformation politics, and spiteful nun he spurned, S-P-U-R-N-D, spurned? Burned alive at the stake. He was the only person to be executed in the case. Grandier, son of a lawyer and nephew of the Canyon Grandier and Saints, was born to a life of privilege. A bright and eloquent student, he was sent at age 14 to the Jesuit College of Bordeaux. He spent more than 10 years studying there and took his ordination as a Jesuit novice in 1615. A promising career lay ahead of him. If you guys didn't know, the Jesuits run everything. They own the church, England, BlackRock, Vanguard, Majestic 13, you know, the 13 original bloodline families that supposedly come from yeah, they pretty much run all this stuff. And if you're not for them, you're against them, and that means you're on my side. Don't worry, they're not that scary. When you have, like, God's favor, things just chill. He didn't sound very demonic at all. I don't know. Who knows? To some, angels and demons and God are just a fairy tale they tell. But you bear witness. And it's always up for interpretation.